is successful and fulfilled, they fight through the pain, they stay later, they work through it, they sacrifice, and then they feel proud because it works. It will work when you do the right thing and you struggle and you don't give up. You have to believe, if I just convince myself that if I keep thinking this way, it will happen. Because by the way, the first few times you might get thrown back on your butt and go, okay, it didn't work for me. No, you have to keep doing it, right? It's not always going to be, okay, I have confidence in myself. I had a lifetime of not having a whole lot of confidence. I look at my life and I look at a lot of people that I know because I'm very interested in helping children of adversity. And so there is still a clear pathway to be able to make it. You know, I grew up in a household that had struggled with addiction and alcoholism, and my father worked the graveyard shift. My mom cleaned homes, and he was a checker at a grocery store, you know, so I didn't know any different, right? Didn't know that there was this, you know, I knew there was a great big world out there, but, you know, we grew up struggling, and just a lifestyle that again, like I said, I didn't know any different. And I failed 4th grade. By the time I made it to 8th grade, I had a child. Yeah, so that was, again, a normal for me. And then once I got probably about that age, about 14, 15, I started realizing, you know, there was more to life. I was in a lot of pain, I guess you could call it, over
emotional pain.
Yeah, just having a child, and that was a weird adjustment. And so I was falling in my father's footsteps. I had an intervention. And so, you know, I'm just doing what my dad did. I'm doing what my uncle, my aunt, my grandfather, you know, everybody else did, right? And then ended up deciding to go to college. No one in my family had ever gone. And I went, not because I'm this brilliant high achiever, it was because my girlfriend was going, you know? And I found that to be the case a lot of times where, you know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so by being in a place that, you know, gave me opportunity, being in college was this wonderful first step of getting out of my neighborhood and out of my old life. I mean, happiness to me is not about money, right? It's about the satisfaction that you are doing something larger with your life and feeling very confident in the fact that you are leaving a mark in the world, you know? And we've gone all over the world, and I've seen very, very happy people, and yet they don't have a lot, you know? So I don't think it's defined by money.
A lot of people, and they think, I can't even get started because it's too big of a project. How do you get from here to there? And I can only tell you is if you take a look at the overall scope of where you want to go, it's overwhelming in any goals that we have in life. But if you just take little bits at a time and you go for it and slowly building yourself, you can get there. And that's been something that I'm really pretty good at looking at here to there, saying, I can get to there. I know I see it, right? That's the vision. That's what you're talking about. We all want to, you know, see the vision way out. I'm sitting on a yacht, I've got my private plane, and you go, okay, I can't get there. It's too much in the way.
I still need to make my mortgage payment, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if you say, I only need to get to here, which is I want to replace myself, and that means I need more volume, I need more business, I need more whatever it is, then you got to start there. How do you get to that? And then the next one is I want to hire a controller, whatever these things are, you know, and you keep building by just going to those steps. When you look at it that way, it feels, whoa, it's gonna take a long time, right? And then people give up again. And that's the part about...
So many people give up.
Right, because it's too hard, or it's too long, or it's, you know, too much work. But that's the point of any body or any business that's been successful. It didn't happen overnight.
If you decide you want to make something, I think in this country, there is a pathway to do that. You know, that if you are a female or if you're an African American or whatever, that it may be hard. I'm not putting that out, but there is a path if you really surround yourself with the right people and don't, you know, keep in your head that you can't do it. If you think you can, I believe you can. So here I am doing my business for a long time and become fairly large and successful and all the things I thought were wonderful. And then I get hit with cancer. And at that point, my focus became a completely different focus. What's the most important thing, right? And that's my family. So I said, I'm gonna sell my business, and I sold it to a very large private equity group, and I focused on the family. And by doing that, I was then able to realize that when I got back into business, the problems weren't very large in business. So now it's just problem solving, right? So let's get in the room, let's figure it out. And you realize we're not dying, it's just problem solving. Now all of a sudden, the fear, I guess, that business had on me for a while, will I lose everything? And I started realizing that's just part of the game. Then the fear of that went away. So now I can go out and create and do things. But the successful and fulfilled, they fight through the pain, they stay later, they work through it, they sacrifice, and then they feel proud because it works. It will work when you do the right thing and you struggle and you don't give up. So I found that at times when struggle and when people that get lost, they get nervous and scared.
Sure.
I found it exciting, you know? And so it changed my thought process, you know? At fourth grade, I had failed fourth grade because of dyslexia and some other things. So those little things that came along, you know, really, I think they either turn somebody into real dark side, or it motivates you to do other things. And in my life, you know, I think it made me, it was a wonderful gift and a blessing in disguise. You know, that pain kind of makes you say, I'm gonna freaking do it, man. I'm gonna make something of myself. Well, when I look at my career, and I started, I didn't understand where I'd end. I didn't know, I didn't have a lot of mentors. I didn't have idea that I want to achieve this certain goal. And as I grew and I found people that could mentor me and be a part of my success, I began to really formulate a plan. And the interesting thing that I have found, because I've become the membership chairman for so many charities now, because I've kind of was in this middle ground. I wasn't the old guy and I wasn't the new guy. I wasn't in my 20s or 30s. When I was in my 40s, I was membership chair for every charity you could ever imagine. But it was bridging the gap, right? And what I found that these older, successful people, they want to give back. They want to tell their story. But a lot of people, when they're young, they think, oh, they don't want to talk. They're too big. They're too important. They're too busy, right? And it could be farther than the truth. If you just ask, you never know. And I'd love to just pick your brain. Just love to know your story, how you got there. But the point to that story more is just asking, right? Just going up to people and saying, what do you do? How'd you get this? And then, is that something I'd be interested in, you know? And I've asked a million questions, by the way, and I've had people turn me down on answers, or had people give me answers that I wasn't interested in, or whatever, right? But it's just, you slowly start to build your own idea of what you want. And what you got to do is be good at being you, right? You don't have to be somebody else. And your transparency, or your authenticity, should I say, it will reveal itself, and then people will come into you if you are who you really are, right? If you're a good person, you have morals, you have integrity, all those things that we really need. If you believe in karma and you believe the fact that good things happen to good people, then you will, if you are, again, if you're out there and open, I think you'll attract people. And when you attract the right people, right, then, you know, you can go faster, you can do the things that you're really interested in doing.